Hey, what's happening? Tim with Nomad Trading. I want to talk just for a second about adapting to the market and how important that is. If you haven't noticed, we've had insane runners lately. So I've been struggling to adapt. I don't know if you guys have or not, and you might be watching this and be a brand new trader and having never traded at all, or depends on where you're at. But I thought it would be interesting to kind of just look at some of the stuff that's been going on in the stock market lately. Before I do, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, do all those wonderful YouTube algorithm things that we love so much, and also click the link for Acorns. If you don't know about Acorns, they've got a referral going on right now where if only I think 4 of you sign up through this link, then I get like $500. And the beauty of that is that they do those promotions all the time. So not only is it a way to save money, and basically what it does is it rounds up to the nearest dollar for your everyday purchases. So you're spending $24.30 at McDonald's. It takes that next 70 cents, rounds it up, puts it in an investment account, so you can use it as an investment account. You can pull the money out whenever you want. I think it's pretty cool. I use it to set money aside for things that I need later. So if you're interested in that, click the link, sign up through me. You get free $5, I believe it is, $5 for free as soon as you link your bank account and set everything up, which takes just a few minutes. I think it's worth it. I use it personally, or else I wouldn't peddle it on my channel. As you see, I don't peddle many products. So anyway, I think it's pretty cool. Click the link, check it out. If not, that's cool too. Now, let's talk a little bit, jump into my computer, talk a little bit about how crazy the market has been and how we need to adapt. I need to learn to adapt. I think Ross has been struggling with it because I've noticed that he's taken quite a few losses in this same period of insane stock movement. And that's very frustrating for me anyway, and I'm sure for him, because you're seeing these crazy runners and then not making the crazy money on it. And it's all about adapting. So anyway, let's jump into the computer real quick here and start looking at some of these. So for instance, I want to focus more on you can't grasp all of it. It's hard to grasp all of the moves without seeing them in different time frames, I guess. But if you look at the daily chart down here, for instance, I'm just going to run through some of these runners. Oh, by the way, today finished up $280 or $300. I'm not sure exactly where it was between the three accounts, but 74 in this one, 95 in that one, and 200 and some in the other account. So what's that, 370 something or 400, and then had a bunch of commissions and all that for wonderful CMEG. But anyway, that was me today. It's bad when you feel frustrated when you make $300 or $400 or $200 or whatever, but you're actually feeling frustrated. And I've been feeling very frustrated lately with this market because there's so much opportunity, and I'm still stuck in this mindset that from years ago where chasing these moves did not pay off. But that's not the market we're in now, and I'm trying to learn how to adjust to that. It used to be, let me back up just a hair. It used to be, 5 years ago, you would get what I call unicorns, stocks that go from a couple bucks to $100. This would be like a unicorn to me. You don't see them hardly ever. It's very rare, I guess is why I call it that. Anyway, of course, unicorns don't actually exist, whereas they do in this situation. So anyway, not the best example, I guess. But anyway, it's what I call them. Extremely rare events where stocks go crazy amounts up into the stratosphere. You used to see them years ago when I started trading, like 5 years ago. There'd be maybe a couple a year. Other than that, you would see some moves here and there that were 100% moves or 200% moves, and you'd see one or two of those a day. It's gotten to the point where 2020 was super hot, but now here in 2021, chasing pays off. I guess that's the point, is that I learned this set of rules, or tried to, over the course of the last several years, about if you chase, you get burned. And you still do sometimes, and I mean, obviously. But so much now. Things just run and run and run because of the Reddit and the Wall Street bets, and there's so many new traders in the market. Just how everything is set up now, it's just a different world. So you have to adjust to that, and it's kind of funny because every day I'm watching these crazy moves and I'm not taking part in a lot of them, and then I kick myself and I'll be frustrated the rest of the day. And maybe you guys are kind of feeling some of that too, but anyway, the moral of the story is that it's a great time to be a new trader because I think you can almost know too much. Me and some of my friends were talking about that today, because if you get to a point where you almost kind of know what's happening and you're looking for points of resistance and all this stuff, that's been great for years. But when you get in a crazy market with all these crazy runners, the resistance doesn't matter nearly as much. The stocks run right through it a lot of the time. So I'll be taking profit, on a small piece of a move, and I'd be better off not even seeing the resistance and just holding through that a lot of the time. I'm not saying all the time. Obviously, you got to learn the basics and learn to trade, and sooner or later, the markets will level themselves out. Things will come back to earth, and at least I think they will anyway. We'll see. Maybe not, but anyway. So you definitely got to learn all the stuff. I'm not really saying that, but at the same time, there's definitely something to be said about learning too much, to where I've seen so many people lately that don't know very much about stock trading, which is fine, and they're making tons of money, and that's amazing because they just buy a stock and it goes up and it goes up and it goes up. It's insane. Anyway, some examples of this would be like SAVA. You're talking about a stock that was down here in the sixes and sevens and eights in the beginning of January, and it went to a high of $117. So a few dollars, or $6 to 117. That is insane. But you used to see one of those, or maybe a few a year, because I can remember when I started trading, everybody would talk about DRYs and DRYS, and TOPS, TOPS. There was just a few of them, and they were like, the crazy stocks everybody talked about because that's how rare it was. Whereas now it's like, I'm going to rattle off several just off the top of my head. KOSS went from, in the threes to a high of 127. OCGN is a common one that's happening right now as we speak. It's gone from just this move was under $2 to 19 today, just in a matter of a few days on that one. And then if you look back just to December, you're talking about a stock that was under 30 cents, to $19. And if you look at the 52-week low, that was 17 cents. So within the last year, this was a 17-cent stock that was over $17. That's 10,000% gain in less than a year. So, insane unicorns. And then, of course, we have the ones that everybody knows about, like GME. This one went from, what was it trading at? If you go way back here in October, it was under $10, and then it would slowly kind of climb back and forth between 10 and 20, and then was in the 18 area. Then it started to take flight right here, and this would have been a crazy move. If you're looking at down here, you're looking at a $21 move to a $43 move. So right here, the stock is doubling, and this is a tiny piece of the move. Ends up going to a high of what, it went higher than that in after hours. It's only showing 483 here, but I know it was like 580 or something pre-market one day or after hours. Definitely well over 500 at one point. So then you had that one, just insane. AMC was another one. These are all just in the past few weeks, guys. AMC, if you look at this one, I'll zoom out a little bit on this if you want to see it on the smaller time frame. But look at this move from $4 to whatever the high was right there of, why can't I get right on it? 25.80. So from $5 to $25, over $25 in a matter of like minutes. It's just absolute insanity. And this stock here was, like I said, down here in the twos, down here, just a few days prior, and then goes to almost $26. So what I'm trying to get at is we are not in a normal market. The market has changed. I don't know if it's changed for good, how long it's going to remain this way, but all I know is I'm struggling to adapt to it. And I've seen quite a few traders that are successful. I'm not successful, so I'm not saying that, but I've seen far more successful people that have been struggling lately. And I got to think that a lot of it is that, because, that a lot, for the longest time, you would really be paying the price if you were buying this stock. If it was in the $4 range and you were buying it up here at $10, you would be paying the price within the next day as it came back down to $4. But now it's like time after time after time after time, chasing actually pays off. I'm a little bit worried about if this ever changes, because they did come down. As you can see, AMC is all the way back down at $6. GME is all the way down at 60, which is still, a crazy move from the 18 it was at. But imagine if you were the guy buying up here in the 400s, and then Robinhood and several other brokers restricted the buying where you couldn't buy it, which naturally drove the price into the dirt, which I think is ridiculously crooked myself. But they say they have their reasons, so whatever. But I'm just trying to say that these moves that would have been punished, you'd really be punished and slapped on the hand if you chased any of these stocks, unless you caught the one unicorn once in a while back in the day. Whereas now it's almost like it pays off to chase. So it's kind of interesting to see. And then there's always that fine line. They're running absolutely insane, farther than you would expect, but they are coming back down, or at least most of these are. We'll see if the rest of them do. OCGN's a little bit different because it has an actual catalyst. So will it come all the way back down? I don't really know. That remains to be seen. But the point is, you got to adapt to the market, and I have not been doing that well. So I guess this is kind of like a little confessional to myself and to everybody, that I need to do a better job of adapting, holding these stocks. Like so many times I'm in these moves, and then I'm like telling myself, this makes no sense. It's going to hit this resistance. It's going to drop. I don't want to be holding 1,000 shares. Like OCGN, I bought 2,000 shares of this stock several times. And then it would, like down here in the threes. And I was expecting this insane move right here. I didn't expect it to go that high, because, who would expect that? But I did expect it to go to like 8 or maybe 9. And I was buying it down here, a couple thousand shares. But then it fakes me out and dips down. And then, I'm happy to get out of it, thinking that, okay, it's not going to do it. But it did. And then I saw it making this move here, and I thought, I'm not going to chase it, because last time I bought a couple thousand shares and tried chasing it, it came down on me. That was over here. So I don't want to be taking a big loss on it. I'm not going to chase it. And then it, of course, rips from there all the way up to today, $19. So I don't know. Trading is just a crazy thing. It's an extremely difficult thing to master anyway, as anybody will tell you. Actually, day trading, over 90% fail. Everybody knows the statistics that it's very difficult to do. Over 90% of any other occupation do not fail, I would venture to say. So it's extremely difficult anyway, but then it's always changing, and I think that's part of what makes it so difficult, is you have to adapt to what's going on and what's moving and how far they're going, and are they getting stalled out, all the different ins and outs of trading. So personally, I'm trying real hard to adapt to that, but it is frustrating to make, a few $100s, but see these stocks going to $19 from $4, and it's like, man, I could have made, easily made $5,000 on that move. Easily. I was holding, like I said, 2,000 shares a couple different times and 1,500 shares one of the times. But it kept, when I was buying it on these days, I'd buy it and it would drop, and then it would pop back up at some point, and I'd get out of it, it'd drop a little more, and I would think, maybe it's dead. Next thing you know, it's ripping up without me, and I didn't want to chase because over the years, I've lost a lot of money chasing stocks like that. Buying breakouts is one thing, but it felt like, the way that some of these other moves had failed, I don't know, it just didn't feel right. It felt manipulated, felt like it was going to be crashing down as soon as I tried to chase or buy the breakout. And then I'm watching up in here in the 4s and the 5s. I took a piece of it here, but again, it started dropping, so I made money on it, but just a very little, like $100 or $200, $250 or something like that. And then it just keeps ripping and ripping. So yeah, it's kind of funny because I've been green quite a few days. It was green last week. Started this week green today. My goal is only 100 a day, and I've been blowing through that most days, and still feeling extremely frustrated because of these crazy moves and not getting a bigger piece of them and not making thousands of dollars on them. So adjust, Tim. Adjust, everybody that's watching this video. We all got to adjust to the market. I'm not saying chase everything, because there are plenty of stocks that do not do this. But one that I did, I just tried to log into CMEG, but for some reason during this time, it's late at night right now. It's 12:40 a.m. where I am. So I can't log into it. Must be when they're updating it or whatever. For some reason, I can't log into my actual trading platform to show you my entries and exits and things. Let's see, this was not it. It was AEZE, I believe. Today, is that what it was? Dang, I can't remember what the... AEZS, that's what it was. Yeah, and this one I actually did feel like I was chasing on it, but this is one of the first times that I felt like I've started to try to adapt, because I saw the volume. And there's keys to this, guys. If you're still watching at this point, I know I'm getting kind of lengthy, but if you're still watching at this point, there are different factors to this. You don't just buy any stock that's going up, even though that's kind of working right now. But you got to look for the volume and how things are playing out. I saw this move and I did buy it right here, sold it up into this, and it came back down, right? So I was happy with that, made just a little bit of money on it, and then it came up here and I bought it again. At this point, I felt like I was chasing it, but I saw the volume. I recognized that this market is insane. So I was like, you know what? It feels to me like chasing, because we've already had the move and it came all the way back down. It's all the way up from $1 to, at this point, up here in the 240 range, 250 range. So I'm thinking, this feels like chasing. This pattern feels like chasing. It doesn't quite feel right. The way it came all the way back down to VWAP here, the way it gave back so much of this move here. But it was getting late in the day. It starts ripping up, and I thought, you know what? These things are moving bigger after hours a lot of time and pre-market than they are during market hours. So I'm just going to chase it with a small position. And I did take a very small position, so it wasn't any kind of a giant winner. But I felt good about it because I felt like I kind of adapted. I kind of was like, hey, I see the volume. I see it's a late day. It may feel a little bit overbought, but this is the market we're in. So take a little piece of it. So I did. And I was tempted to get out here, and I did not. And I held it all the way up here and got out of a piece of it at 358. I believe it was, like almost exactly the top of it. And then it dropped so fast that before I could even, I didn't get out of the rest of it until all the way down here at $3. So could have been quite a bit of a larger winner, because I lost over 50 cents right there on that move there before I could get out of it. But anyway, and I didn't make a lot of money because, like I said, it was a really small position. I was just wanted to dabble in the idea that I could chase these stocks and they might keep running, especially into the after hours. And also, I was hoping it would keep going after hours, but it didn't. It kind of fizzled out. It held up fairly well, but it gave back so much right there that I decided, you know what, I'm not going to hold any of it like I planned originally. But anyway, the point is, I felt a little bit better about maybe I'm starting to begin to adapt to the market that we're in. This is a crazy hot market where stocks can go absolutely way beyond what you think they could go or where they should go. That's the truth of it. I mean, the stocks are way overvalued when they get, I'm not saying this one in particular, but like GameStop or any of those going absolutely bonkers. They are way overvalued. It makes no logical sense at all for them to be up there. But that doesn't matter because we just trade the ticker. We don't necessarily, for me anyway, I don't trade all the fundamentals. I want there to be a catalyst, but I'm not trading anything other than the ticker. So the price action, the volume, all the technicals of the chart, those kinds of things, that's what I trade. And I really need to keep learning to adapt and seeing that, this stock that I thought might go from the $1.20 to $2 or $3 could go all the way to $3.50 in no time. So that's the market we're in. We all have to adapt, and that's what I'm attempting to do. So hopefully I can continue that the rest of the week, and hopefully the market stays hot and it doesn't turn. I'm a little bit worried about if things stop running like this, if there's going to be a lot of people that get trapped and lose a bunch of money, new traders that are just getting used to this market. But there's also the possibility that this is the world we live in now, where there is huge Discord groups. Oh, by the way, I have a Discord group. I just started it, so there's not very many people in there, but feel free to join. It is on my the invites on my homepage of my YouTube channel under community, the community tab. So join us in there if you want. I'm going to make some more videos in the future, but anyway, I just kind of wanted to touch base on how crazy the market is right now and how be very careful chasing always. You really don't want to chase. Everybody is always rule number one when you start learning how to trade is not to chase. But then you have markets like this where the right stock, and it's not every one, but the right ones with the right volume and the right situation, the chasing is actually paying off. So it's a crazy world we're living in right now. Hard to adapt to it, but trying to do my best. Got to get it in my mind, Tim, you can chase every once in a while now. If the stock has the right situation, you can chase. Anyway, hope you guys have a great day and make a ton of money whenever you're watching this. Everything goes great. Of course, trade scared. That's what I do, but I'm trying to learn to trade a little less scared now that we're in such a crazy market. When the market is hot, you want to take advantage of it, so I'm trying to learn to do that. But it is frustrating and difficult. So even the great Ross, who is one of my idols, has been losing money quite a bit on these days with these crazy movers. So I know that I'm not alone in the frustration. I'm sure he's feeling it too, and he's far better than I'll probably ever be at trading. So anyway, thanks for watching. You guys are awesome if you made it this far. I love you. I'll talk to you soon.